Welcome to Station 75 in Spring, Texas. We all know the family culture of a fire station, but we're going a little deeper today and introducing you to the Paige brothers. And they're going to be showing us their specialty, prime rib and burgers. I can't wait. Let's go. Hey, Paige brothers.
How's it going?
Cooking?
How are you?
How you doing?
Good. How are y'all? Thanks for having me, Jeff.
Glad to be here.
David. And burgers.
Yep.
Let's get to work.
All right.
I hear you guys are like the experts when it comes to grilling burgers at the station.
Well, I wouldn't go that far, but yeah, I make a pretty good burger.
Okay, we'll go with that.
They haven't fired us from it yet, so we're doing something right.
I imagine this is probably a pretty popular dish on shift.
Yes.
This is usually...
It's one of those quick things that's not too hard to whip up, and
yeah.
After a busy day, it goes pretty quick.
Yeah, and just about everybody likes it. You don't have to get too fancy with it, you know.
Correct.
And probably, I'd assume the ingredients are on hand. What are you guys working with? It looks like you've got some secret ingredients.
We got some Worcestershire and some French onion soup mix that David's going to open up and put in here as well. Okay,
y'all are so fast because there's two of you. Okay, so slow down. First of all, what kind of meat did you just dump in this gigantic bowl?
Just some 80-20 ground beef.
Okay.
Simple. Got a little fat to it for burgers. Helps it get a little more flavor to it. Don't want it, too crazy lean, but still want it to be able to hold up when we make the patties.
Yeah, you don't want that thing falling apart.
No.
Okay, so that means if you've got the right fat content or the right portions, then you can eliminate having to do the raw egg and all that.
Yeah, I mean, it'll hold together as long as we form it well and then get it put on the grill or the pit. Either way, it'll come out pretty good.
And I noticed too, I mean, you're just like an eyeball, kind of just throw some Worcestershire in there and...
After you've done it a few times, you kind of have an idea about what the color it should come out to.
Look at you two just work together so nice.
There you go.
I love this.
Yeah, our mom would be so happy to see us working together like this.
That's right. It all worked out.
It only took 30 years.
Right.
We finally made it happen.
And this one, I mean, are you particular about which brands that you're using? Or
Not necessarily. I mean, that one is what we usually use, but I mean, most Worcestershire sauce is pretty much the same.
Okay. Gotcha.
Store brand's not much different from the regular ones.
And those are just your regular, the soup mixes.
Correct, yeah. Yeah, this is just like a French onion soup mix. It just adds a little more flavor to it. And yeah.
Okay, so we got the Worcestershire, the French onion soup mix. And then I love this brand. This is literally called Just Right Burger Spice.
Correct. So yeah, so that Adams we have our local HEB we go shop at pretty much every day.
Yeah.
And they've got a huge line of all those. And so the Just Right Burger Spice literally has pretty much exactly what we need it to have for the burgers. Yeah.
Found it.
So
you found that secret ingredient.
That's it.
You've got to feed a lot of hungry men and women in the fire station.
Correct.
So how many is this about going to feed?
Well, so this one right here, we do have probably about 9 pounds of meat. So that actually feed about 18 people. So we've invited some friends over today. Okay. But normally here at this station here, we have 5. So we'll generally get probably about 2.5 to 3 pounds of meat. Okay. Give them some burgers, maybe give them an extra one if they're really hungry. It's
a good sized burger.
Right, yeah. We want to get about a half-pound burger, mainly because we just use our sides or something small, something easy. Usually get dispatched to a run at dinner time. And
and while you keep doing your arm workout here, talk to me about what it's like to be brothers at the same department.
It's always fun. We started back as volunteers about I guess 17 years ago now for me.
Wow.
And he's coming up on 20.
Cool.
And so it's always been fun. Obviously, being family, you always do stuff together as it is, but it just gives us one other thing to hang out and spend time with each other and enjoy, have a similar hobby.
Yeah, I love that. Definitely. That's very cool. All right, so what's next? We got to shape them.
Next, we got to make some patties, right? Okay. Yep. So
and you're getting them ready for the pit.
Correct.
And you're getting them ready
for the grill.
For the grill.
Yep.
Talk to me about the difference.
Time. So if we have the time, I like putting them on the pit as well. Okay. But a lot of times we don't have the time, so we'll just throw them on the grill. It only takes about 10-15 minutes on the grill. It'll take about an hour to 2 hours, depending on the temperature of the pit. The flavor profiles are obviously way different, but haven't had complaints on either one of them.
What's your technique on forming these? You got any good tips for anybody, or?
Not really, just making a burger patty, and then I know a lot of people there's different ways a lot of people like to do them. I just put a little indention in the middle because these are going to puff up because they're only 80-20. So I put that little indention in there to help kind of even it out. So by the time it does get done cooking, hopefully that will puff up to about even. Okay. I'm really just making about a baseball size of meat, forming it, and then flattening it out.
I mean, have you ever just failed completely in making a meal?
Definitely things have gotten burned, things have gotten undercooked. A lot of times an emergency run will disrupt our meal. We have to respond to it. We can't just stay here and keep cooking. So a lot of times we'll come back and dinner won't necessarily be ruined, but that's why they make fast food restaurants.
That's right. Oh no. Sometimes you just got to make that call.
You just got to make, the worst thing you can do is lay short. You never want to have too little food.
Right.
Firemen will eat most anything. And worst case scenario, a little more salt, a little more pepper, ketchup. A lot of times you can cover up somebody's mistakes, but if you don't have enough, that's when you they don't really get too happy with you.
I see. Okay, so talking sides, what are you guys envisioning for today, or is it just burger or go home?
Burgers and chips. Okay. Sometimes we'll do fries, but just for speed and quickness, chips are already made.
Do you guys ever get tired of seeing each other?
Only when you have to do it for extended periods of time.
Okay.
But no, it's always fun to work with them.
Yeah.
There's never a dull moment. So it's always good.
It really seems like you guys have a nice harmony going on here. Like, hey, you ready for this? Okay, I got that. Dude, boom, boom. You guys, I bet this goes real fast.
Usually.
Yeah, for in the firehouse. All right, how's he doing on this technique?
So far, so good.
So you don't have any kind of feedback for him, right?
No, he wouldn't listen anyway, so he'd just be wasting breath.
Hot Eats will be back in 1 minute.
It is Texas law that all drivers must safely move over when a fire truck is behind them. And when passing any stopped emergency vehicle, all drivers must slow down to 20 miles an hour below the speed limit. Fines start at $200, but if someone is injured because a driver refused to move over or slow down, fines can balloon to $2,000 and a judge can order jail time. So please, move over or slow down.
Thank you, Planet Ford, for being a proud community sponsor of the Spring Fire Department.
Grill Your Ass Off has one simple mission: continued camaraderie. Whether it be the labels that bring you a smile or names that bring a personal connection to your times in service. At the end of the day, we want you to be there with your family and good food. Because we all know, no matter what the race, politics, or thoughts, good food brings all Americans together.
Hey, Captain Corso.
How are you?
Thank you for having me.
Thanks for coming.
Thank you. In the spring department, you guys are really trying to drive home cancer prevention.
Yes, ma'am.
And I know that's something that's near and dear to your heart.
It is. In 2016, we started our LifeScan physicals, and they've been very successful in finding medical anomalies and different issues such as cancer. And that year we started, I went in for my test and they happened to find it on me. I had stage 2 testicular cancer. Was treated, did chemo, cured, and I'm back to work. Everything's good. It's been 3 years. Yesterday I finished chemo. As everyone's probably been made aware in the recent news and everything, cancer's on the rise. It's huge in the fire service industry. And Spring is leading, trying to prevent firefighters from getting cancer as best they can. Like I said, in 2016 we started with the LifeScan physicals. And again, it wasn't about cancer, it was just about a better, a more fit and well firefighter. Wow. It just happened to catch mine, and it's caught a lot of other people's. Spring also buys all the members 2 sets of fire gear. So if we do make an incident, we can take that dirty gear off, get it cleaned, and still have our other set to respond to additional incidents. We also started implementing the sauna. So we actually have 3 saunas. We have one here at Station 75, one at Station 74, and one at Station 70. The whole crew on down, the individual fire truck will go out of service, come here, ride the bike for, I believe it's 15 minutes. I think it's what we're looking at.
So you want to get your pores really open, kind of sweat out. So what I know a lot of the rest of the nation looks to you guys. You guys really do set the standard in a lot of ways.
I mean, it just started a couple years ago. We got a second hood, and then it was the LifeScan physicals, and then it was just all in with everything we can do and best practices to make us all healthier and continue to do this job for a whole career.
Good for you, and congrats on 3 years.
Thank you.
It's pretty awesome.
Thank you.
Thank you for having us.
Thank you.
Hot Eats will be back in 1 minute.
The bonds of fellowship, are one of the fundamental cornerstones of human society. Every culture that is, or has ever been, has based the value of their existence on wars they waged, the art they created, and the dishes they served. So is the story of the American experience, a culturally chaotic land of misfits whose most unifying moments often come at the dinner table. And of all the old world methods of creating meals, only one encompasses American unity. It's the time spent on a grill and the food pulled from it.
So burgers are on the grill. Lunch is going to be served in a couple of minutes. So I think we're going to start focusing on supper, right?
Yep.
Okay, what you got?
Dinner night's prime rib. Nice and simple. Just pull it straight out of the package, season it. I like to use salt, pepper, and garlic. 2 parts garlic and pepper to 1 part salt. And just nice and easy, coat it real generously and throw it on the smoker.
All right, well, while you do that, talk to me about you've used garlic powder, right?
Correct, garlic powder.
Okay, and say it again for me, your different portions. It's 2 parts.
2 parts pepper and garlic and 1 part salt.
Gotcha. Okay, where'd you pick up on that? Just tasting it and testing it out?
Trial and error.
Yeah.
Just as often as we get to cook around here, you just try occasional different things. And
yeah.
Kind of see what works best.
Okay, all right, so experimenting in the kitchen. I like that.
Yep.
So what made you and your brother become firefighters?
Actually, he started it, which is what I've said my whole life. He got started as a volunteer back in 2001, and kind of being the little brother with the big brother, you always kind of want to do what they're doing with, as long as it's the right thing, of course.
Yeah, sure.
And so he started doing it. He said I could come right along with him, and I went to an apartment fire with him one day, and after the fire was out, I got to walk inside of it, and it was kind of right there that I realized that this is what I wanted to do also. So I started as a junior member when I was 14 years old, and I guess as they say, the rest is history. Wow,
at 14? That's incredible. And you guys have just been inseparable ever since?
Pretty much, for the most part.
I love that. Well, that's pretty cool. Now, I see that you're doing a pretty nice coating on here.
Oh, yeah.
You're not leaving any spots undone.
Nope.
And you don't have to push it in real hard. You're just kind of just lightly coating, right?
Yep, that's exactly it.
Okay.
Nice and easy.
And this will go straight from here
to the smoker.
To the smoker, aka the pit.
Correct.
Okay. And how long will you have it sitting there?
It's going to go for about 3.5 hours between 275 and 300 degrees.
Okay. So is that the key there, is trying to maintain that temperature?
That's the key temperature. And then depending on the size, sometimes if they're bigger, it'll take a little longer. Smaller, it'll be a little less. So I usually try to pull it off when it's around 128 to 132 degrees on the internal temp. Okay.
And then how many firefighters will this feed?
This one right here is about 5.5 pounds, and it'll probably feed roughly 7 of us.
Okay. So no leftovers tonight.
No.
Okay. This is all going to be gone. Okay. So I think we're going to go from seeing how you do this with a dry rub to how you do this. Tell me about your technique.
Okay. So the only difference here is going to be a marinade and then the cooking, the way to cook it. Okay. So while Jeff put his on the pit, mine's going to go in the oven.
All right.
So I'll pull it out and get it going. It's pretty simple as far as everything else that you saw with Jeff's. I've had it in a marinade. It's just a Allegro marinade since last night.
Okay. Oh, it smells good.
Oh, yeah.
Man. And then did you obviously just stick it in the refrigerator and let it sit for what, a full day?
Yeah, anywhere from, usually just overnight. It's the easiest way to do it.
Okay.
And then, from there, I guess I'll put it on the cutting board here, so I'm going to season it up. Okay. And from here, I just kind of did the same rub that Jeff did, salt, pepper, and garlic powder. It's just a little bit different in the proportion. I do 2 parts pepper, 2 parts salt, and then just 1 part garlic.
Oh, so a little different then. Okay.
And then I did, they were coarse ground salt and pepper, and then I just kind of put it in this little mixture right here to help kind of cut it down a little bit.
Oh, I can smell that too. Wow, it's strong. It smells good though. Oh, wow. Okay, now, when you go to put this in the oven, you have a particular way, and you have to really watch the temperature.
Correct. So a lot of people have kind of experimented in the past, and so I'm always up to try something different on the cooking styles. So what I found was a way to cook it to where it's a lot of hands-off stuff, and you just kind of got to trust the oven, but it'll come out to a nice medium rare. So what I do is I preheat the oven to 500 degrees.
Okay.
And then once it's preheated, the prime rib it goes in there for 5 minutes a pound, pretty much exact. So whatever the weight is, it's going to go for 5 minutes. So this prime rib is right at 5 pounds. So it's going to go in there at 25 minutes at 500 degrees.
Okay.
Once we hit that 25 minutes, I don't do anything other than shut the oven off. I don't check it. I don't pull it out. Just turn the oven off, and it sits for 2 hours.
Okay, and don't open it.
Don't open it. Yeah, don't open it.
Okay.
Yeah, don't let. And basically, the oven is acting as a slow cooker from there.
Right.
So the temperature's dropping, but it's still cooking the meat. And then at the end of the 2 hours, when you pull it out, it's pretty much a perfect medium rare.
Now, and you're going to transfer this to the pan, but it's not going to be wrapped in foil. It's just
Nope. That helps build a crust on it on the outside with the seasoning and the marinade, which I want to have that nice crust on the outside. And then I just kind of lift it a little bit. Usually when we have bone in, I just leave it sitting on the bone to create its own rack. But since we don't have the bone in, it's boneless. I'm going to make a little rack for it just to help move the air around it, move the heat, and help cook it more evenly.
How cool. I love both the techniques. Now, Jeff said he sort of followed you into this as a career. So what inspired you?
Funny thing, I actually had a buddy of mine, I was working another job, and he was volunteering with the fire department. And so I kind of tagged along with him. Kind of what Jeff said, you know, kind of tagged along with me. Well, I tagged along with this guy and thought it was a pretty cool thing to do, to go out and help people in the community and just see some interesting things. So I joined, and then a couple years later, like Jeff said, I would bring him along with me, and then he got hooked on it also. So from there, it's about almost 20 years now. Been doing this.
That is
still
very cool.
Still enjoy coming to work.
It's rare, right, to see siblings, especially in the same station or the same department, I guess. Do y'all work a lot of the same shifts?
We try to.
Okay.
Yeah, definitely we try to, and we're pretty fortunate here. They do a great job of putting us together. I really enjoy having him with me on the truck. They just having a brother. I understand how he operates and what he does, and so it helps not have to tell him things. He just understands what needs to be done.
Yeah, you guys take that family or brotherhood to a whole other level.
Definitely.
You are 1 minute away from seeing the finished product.
The bonds of fellowship are one of the fundamental cornerstones of human society. Every culture that is or has ever been has based the value of their existence on wars they waged, the art they created, and the dishes they served. So is the story of the American experience, a culturally chaotic land of misfits whose most unifying moments often come at the dinner table. And of all the old world methods of creating meals, only one encompasses American unity. It's the time spent on a grill and the food pulled from it.
If you have the desire to serve, the courage to act, and the ability to perform, the Spring Fire Department wants you to volunteer with us. Learn how to volunteer with us at springfd.org/volunteer.
Oh, there it is. All right. Wow, guys, they are impressive. Well, cut them open. Let's go. I want to try these puppies. So this oven method, wow, that knife just goes right through it. I love it. What do you think?
It looks great.
Perfection?
Every time.
Are you happy with it?
Definitely.
Oh my goodness.
Cut a little.
And you got that nice little bit of what did you call that on the outside where it's just got that little crisp?
Little bark, nice little bark on it.
Okay. Oh yeah, baby. Oh, it smells so good. This is so ridiculous. Okay. Okay, Jeff, you're up. And this would be the pit method.
This is the pit method.
All right.
The best method.
So this will be, it definitely got a little caramelizing on the outside, but it doesn't seem quite as, like you said, like a bark.
Yep.
Exactly, yeah.
It's more low and slow on his end.
So his, I mean, but they both look equally.
Awesome.
Yeah.
It's a good word for it.
Oh my gosh, are you happy with it?
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Okay, well, can we try some?
Yeah, absolutely.
All right, let's go, y'all. Come on, everybody grab a bite. I'll get this little one. It's so good. Oh my gosh. Okay, the other one. Oh wow, that is awesome. I love that. They're so different. They're like completely different. I can't, there's definitely not one I like more than the other. They're just totally different tastes.
That's it.
And they kind of make you crave like a different side, you know? Like what would you put with yours right now?
Usually like asparagus. I'll do either grilled or in the pan. Some butternut squash, throw it in the oven.
Sorry, that was ridiculous.
No, it's pretty good.
Big old hunt there. And what about you?
I usually go with some barbecue baked beans and some mac and cheese.
Oh yeah. Yeah, I can totally see that. Man, you guys spoiled me today.
There you go.
All right, well, thank you for having me.
No
That was
problem.
awesome. I learned a lot of great
Definitely.
tips, and you guys really have something special going on here. I think it's pretty cool. I think that it's really neat, the culture that you've created, and we thank you for everything that y'all do for our community, for sure.
Thank you.
So there you have it, the oven method versus the pit method on the prime rib, and the burgers on the grill versus the burgers on the pit. You can't go wrong, and no matter what, it's going to be a crowd pleaser. As you can see, these stations sometimes bring some of these firefighters in from other stations, and I tell you what, they all have full bellies and they're all ready to go back to work and help in our community. We'll see you next time. On the next episode of Hot Eats. Welcome to historic Old Town Spring. We're here in what you know as Ellen's Cafe. It's been Ellen's Cafe for the last 20 years.
Then we're going to be working on quiche Lorraine. Quiche Lorraine is a very easy dish to make. It's just a custard recipe.
I cook a little bit, mostly just chicken sticks and meats I can barbecue.
Okay.
But when it comes to the kitchen, kind of out of my element, but I'm willing to learn.
We are going to talk boat safety and boat training today. Before we do that, I want to get into your title and what your role means for the Spring Fire Department.
Well, I'm in charge of all the aspects of the different areas of training that we do, whether it be fire suppression or rescue, or today, boat operations, what we're out here to do today.